Hi guys, today I'll be showing you how to maintain, how to sew and how to thread the sewing machine. This is one of the best sewing machine I've ever purchased and I can recommend this to any beginners. So this is a Brother J7-1400 and it has the bobbin right at the bottom there. Perfect. And it also has the on and off switch at the side and also a plug. You have to plug that on the side of the machine. I already plugged that to the machine, and you also have to plug another one to the wall because this machine is an electrical machine and it needs a power supply. And that is the foot pedal that you're going to use to control your stitches while sewing. So now these are the many things that came with the sewing machine: the small screwdriver, the zipper foot, the buttonhole machine, and also the normal foot that is already on the machine. I already fixed it in the machine. And it also came with a mini screwdriver. So now I want to maintain my sewing machine. The first thing I'll do is to remove the screw on the bottom of the sewing machine. As you can see, I'm going to remove the two screws there. Perfect. Then I'm going to use the screwdriver to kind of pull it out. Nice. So when you pull it out, you'd see the black plastic and stuff, the iron and everything, the feeders. That is where you're going to oil your sewing machine, and also you can also use your brush to dust it. I already oiled my sewing machine. I'm just showing you guys. So I also use the brush. You're gonna see the brush right now. I use it to remove the dust, the thread and everything. You can also dip that brush to an a oil bowl and dab that oil to the sewing machine. So I don't want to just pour it. I just like to dab it from my brush. Perfect. So I'm brushing it and I'm also like oiling it. So make sure you try to oil your machine at least every 6 months, every 3 months, so that it does not give you any faults. So now I'm just going to screw those nuts back. Just gonna screw that back. So now let's thread our bobbin and our sewing machine right now. So now we can see we have two short thread holder, and we could not just put our thread like that. No, it's gonna fall. So what are we gonna do? I'm gonna show you right now. I will just pull that up and now we have our full thread holder. And I also want to show you this cool thing my machine does. It has like a blade by the side and you can cut your thread when you're done sewing. How cool, guys. I love it. So I'll put my thread first. Can you see where my thread is facing? Then I'll thread it through the circle and I'll make like an X with that thread to meet the bobbin. Can you see? I'll take my bobbin, put it in the bobbin holder, then I would just thread on my bobbin a bit before I start using the machine. Just thread a few rows on your bobbin, and when you do that, you cut the excess thread Then you take it to the right. Can you see the way I pushed my bobbin to the right? And now it's time to thread. Your machine is just going to automatically thread itself when you switch it on. You don't have to do too much. Just hold the thread holder. As you can see, I held it at the top. If you do not hold it at the top, it can just fall out. So I just hold it at the top and my bobbin is threading itself. Can you see? But you have to press on the pedal. So now it's time to thread on the machine. As you can see, I put it there right at the top first, then I went like a U. Can you see that? Then I'll put it on the first iron metal loop. I'm gonna bring you guys closer. Can you see that metal loop? I'm gonna take it, put your thread inside there and bring it out and start threading again. Go down, put it by the needle, on top of the needle, then you can thread your needle. After then you can thread your needle. You're gonna thread your needle from in to out. So you do not thread it from the side, you thread it from the front to the back. So from the front to the back. And that is it, guys. Very, very, very easy. So now I want to insert my bobbin. Can you see where my thread is? My thread is by the left. I'm going to insert my bobbin to the bobbin case, so you can see. Then I'll slide it to the left. So there are always instructions on the sewing machine. Just make sure you follow the instruction on the sewing machine. Sometimes the sewing machine will say slide it to the left or slide it to the right. But if you have a Brother sewing machine, this is how all Brother sewing machine are threaded. So this is a guide that will help you. So now I'm going to use my hand wheel and bring that bobbin thread out. So now we have 2 threads on the top of the sewing machine. Can you see that? 2 thread out. I'm just gonna pull it to the back. Can you see? Very, 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 very easy. Then I'm going to just cover that bobbin case. Perfect, guys. I'm just gonna take it through again from the thread to the first, and I'll take it like a U. Then I took it back down. Then I took it on top of the needle. Then I took it inside the needle. And that is it, guys. I hope you learned something. If you learned something, let me know in the comment section. Now to the stitches. So we have different stitches on the sewing machine. We have 14 different stitches. Number 1 is for the buttonholes, when you're doing buttonholes. We also have the zigzag stitch. We have the zigzag stitch. We have the straight stitch. So those are the stitches that are there on the sewing machine. So I use between 8 to 10. But do not use very, 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 very tiny stitches, because when you make a mistake, it's going to be very difficult for you to unpick it. So now we're just going to test our machine that it's properly threaded. If your machine is not properly threaded, then you're going to know when you stitch. Your stitches will not come out well. It will not be straight. It's not going to be neat. But if you thread your sewing machine well, your stitches are going to come out well, neat and straight. So guys, and as you can see there by my hands, I have the reverse. That is what you're going to conceal your seam with. So the back stitch or the reverse stitch is used before any stitch and after every stitch, so that I can seal my stitch together so that it does not undo itself. So now when I put the lever down, put the needle down, I would back stitch. When I'm done, I back stitch. Can you see that? When I was done with that stitch, I back stitch. Zigzag. Here's number 3, 4. Let's go. I'm gonna put the needle down. So guys, that is it for the sewing machine. Now let me show you the tools you need to start sewing. First of all, your fabric scissors, very important to cut fabrics. Then your chalk, you need chalk to mark on your fabric, you know, just to have markings to guide you. We have pins to put your fabric in place so that they don't run away, because some fabrics are very slippery. We need your tracing wheel for pattern making. You need your unpicker for undoing seams when you make mistake, and tape measure to obviously measure, and rulers. Just a straight and curved ruler is good, is better than nothing.